I got to add myself to the studio. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. And I just want you to know we got some topics to talk about, and we got a special guest as well. But nevertheless, we're going to do our best to bring you and keep you entertained today on this beautiful Saturday, the last Saturday you can vote. Welcome to the show. You know who you in the house with, WBDM, the best of the 757 community talk show. And you know I already got on my Wooten to win, Wooten to win, Wooten to win. I'm talking about Virginia Beach mayor. The new mayor is going to be Wooten. That's right. I want y'all to get to the polls. The polls will be open today until today. It will be open until 5 o'clock. And this is the last exciting day that you can get to go to the polls and vote. And I just want you to be aware that, hey, it's all about getting the right people in the right place. And that's what it's all about. And I just want to take time to send, let people know that we on the air and, hope that, we get some people to chime in today that got some, want to know some information. And I got people all over the United States that's going to be chiming in today and watching this, because we are talking about not just the local election, and we'll be talking about the presidency as well, and that's of the United States, because we ain't going back. We not going back. I just want you to know. And also, my special guest will be. Wait a minute. Let me see. I just want to make sure I say a name right, because she'll get mad. We're gonna have Culture by L.E. And she's gonna be coming on in a few minutes. But I don't, just want to go ahead and bring some of the information on I got to talk about right now. Right here, this young lady right here is running in Virginia Beach in the 4th district for the school board. For the school board in Virginia Beach, the 4th district. And most of you people may not be aware of what the 4th district is. That district also includes the Lake Edwards area, where Betty F. Williams and Bayside Middle and the Recreation Center that's over at Bayside in that area, So that's the Williams Farm Recreation Center. But nevertheless, this young lady is running for the 4th district school board in Virginia Beach. She's got all the information to be on school board. She's very well versed in politics and government. But this is not about politics or government. This is about somebody being concerned about our future generation, our young people. And this is Shannon Kendrick. Shannon Kendrick. She's running for the school board in the 4th district. But nevertheless, we're going to do our best to let you know who everybody's running. But I want to go ahead and bring my guest on. I just had to talk about the one and only. I had to talk about, Shannon Kendrick for the 4th district school board. And I want y'all to get out and get behind this young lady, because it's very important. My special guest, and I can bring her on now so we can chime in about some of the politics and political things going, not just in Virginia Beach, but in the 757. And she's very knowledgeable about historical events as well. Culture by L.E. And, she's well known in the 757. She's always popping up in and out all over the World Wide Web. She's always, taking you to historic places and bringing you information so that you will be aware of our history in the 757 in Virginia. But I always tell people they camouflage stuff when it comes to our history. We never left. This has always been our land. They filtrated it by saying we brought in 6 million. You ain't got enough ships to bring in 6 million people from Africa. You need to cut the foolishness out. When you start doing your research, you'll understand that America is Africa. That's why they do what they do. But nevertheless, I'm going to bring the architecture of all the historical people that did things in the United States of America. I'm talking about Miss LE, what's going on?
Hey, Captain85.
How you
Yeah,
doing?
um, Lavender Essence, Stephanie, Mocha, or Steph. I have many names because
Yeah.
over the past 4 years and growing and developing in Culture by LE, a lot of things have happened. And,
Mhm.
as an artist, you have to properly label yourself. And I know it could be a little confusing from time to time because sometimes I'm beside myself with, okay, which person am I today? But yes, Culture by LE is where Virginia's Black ancestral legacy and heritage is proudly honored. And Real Talk 757 has been birthed through Culture by LE. And Real Talk 757 is a talk show based in and out of the 757 area where entrepreneurs can come on and talk about their endeavors, where they are now, talk about their results, and so much more. Not just entrepreneurs, we're branching and developing into so many different things. So we're actually on the set of Real Talk 757 right now in preparation for season 3. So a lot of major things have been happening, moves have been made, and I'm growing, flourishing, and developing in the process as I go. And thank you again for having me here on the best of the 757 Community Talk Show.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. We're here to make sure that information get to the 757, and as long as it's positive, I have no problem. It's just with what's going on in the politics today,
Mhm.
and we keep, the other part always want to talk negative. See, he's a con artist. So when you get a con artist, you try to make sure that it's like, as they used to say in the old school, the hand is quicker than the eye.
Ooh.
So he just says things like, "Oh, well, you stupid." So that resonates with people that may not be aware of education. She's dumb. She's not smart enough to be president. Well, in other words, you're really telling people they're not smart enough to know that you are con. Because if you listen to what he says, he's always saying negative things about people and pick himself up and raise himself up above everybody else. I'm the smartest person on the planet. Well, that right there is a lie. There's no one person smarter than everybody else. You know,
Right.
being a con, you could be smarter than everybody else because you're the one that's doing the conning. And when you con people long enough, when it comes to politics, is that President Obama was in office for 8 years, not 4. So what do
Yeah.
you do to keep people from uh, the American people from understand if you keep people in for beyond 8 years, what do you need with a third party? And that's what he does. He comes in if the economy was going bad, he wouldn't be running for president.
Mm.
As the Bible say, it's in scripture. The enemy comes to rob and steal.
Kill, steal, and destroy. It's in
Right.
there.
That's what he does. He comes in to steal and destroy what is our progress has already been done. The statistics don't lie. If since Biden became president, this is the largest comeback. More people are working than any time in history. And they don't have no part of that. They don't have no part of that. Then he creates all these scenarios with the people that do come into the United States to work. And most people don't understand. When the people come across the border, the illegal ones they call illegals from Mexico,
Yeah.
you know why they come here? Because they're the ones that work in the fields.
Yes.
And you're saying, let's make America great again. Well, the only way you can make America great again is to put the black people back into slavery.
You know what? You coming out swinging today, and I like that analogy with you referring to the Mexicans, the illegal immigrants coming over here working in the fields because when they work, oh my God, when they work in the fields, they work under the table. And so these companies, corporations, or whoever can pay them cheaply. They get
Right,
cheap labor, and you went into slavery. And so what's happening now is the immigrants, the legal immigrants, are coming in and they're taking the place of the black people. They're
right,
taking the place of they're taking the place of the new minority because the white people are becoming the minority in
right.
this country. And so, I want to take it back a minute to when you was doing your intro, because we're going to get back to this. But it's obvious that Black people have been on this land well before the interruption of our history with the transatlantic slave trade, because I had the opportunity to travel to Petersburg early this year. Shout out to Angelica Mappin-Doozy, who's a traveling partner of mine. And we traveled throughout the state. But in Petersburg, I went to Pocahontas Island, and I came across a historical landmarker that indicates that natives, Black people, have been on this land in the United States, the soil of Virginia, since 6500 BC. That's before Christ. So
Right.
when we find out that information, because a lot of information as it pertains to Black people, Black history, Black culture, Black heritage is hidden in plain sight, as I discussed with the West Point Cemetery and our Black Civil War soldiers that are laid to rest in that tall monument of a statue of Sergeant William H. Carney, who's one of our Black Union Civil War soldiers who fought for the 54th Massachusetts Regiment. But when we tie that all up into politics, both the Democratic campaign and the Republican campaign are parties of both cons. Both of them
Right.
are, because that's the game of politics. The game of politics is to create a smear campaign against the other candidate to make the candidate that, I'm trying to get my words right, but they're supposed to trash each other, and we're supposed to choose which one is the best out of the trash, and both of them are
Right.
trash.
Yes.
One more
That's,
thing, because I know I said a lot. There's
mm,
also an independent candidate running, Dr. Cornel West. He's running as the independent candidate for the United States president. And
right.
independent candidates usually don't get a lot of coverage, and they end up grinding harder than the Republican and Democratic candidates because the backing is not as large. So for anybody who is in a position where they like, I ain't vote for neither one of them, another option is available to consider. Not saying that that's who you have to vote for, because if you know Dr. Cornel West and you're familiar with his background, but it's really not a lot of time unless you just stay up for the next few days and cram in and do all this research about him and the other two, for you to know. But
Right.
I just want to put that out there. But let's get into the politics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See what you're saying about Cornel West. I mean, I've been following him for a moment. But see, the thing is about anything. If you don't have the money, it's almost like wasting a vote if people vote for a person that the audience is not familiar with. I've been studying him for years because he's been on talk shows. I researched him. My other friend, Greg McLemore, he's a city council person in Franklin, and he also said the same thing that you said about Cornel West. But the thing is, when you don't have enough backing, enough power, you're just an echo, and it's like throwing a rock in a
Yes.
canyon. And
Yes.
can you hear me there? Can you hear
Most
me there?
definitely.
The name is being
So
mentioned, yeah, but the name is mentioned because all these groups, like people may not, I haven't heard a lot about it in lately about Skull and Bones, and most people don't understand is they make the choice of who's going to be president and
that's,
who's going
yes,
to run for president.
yes, yes.
So if you're not part of the elite, it's the one that says, okay, well, y'all had a good run. Let's do this. We gonna vote. They vote on it. All that other stuff is almost like you just going to the polls. Just say you're going to the polls. That's all it
And
is.
you know what? I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of times, particularly as Black people, we vote along party lines. I did. I
Right.
used to vote Democrat, and I didn't vote for the president for the last presidential term because my ancestors did bleed, struggle, sacrifice, and die
Mhm.
for Kamala or Trump or what's his name, Biden or Trump at the time to run
Mhm.
this country. And it kind of sat with me for a minute, but I was like, I made the right choice. And we look at the outcome of the last 4 years with with the Biden administration, and we see that not much progress has been made. I know that we're coming up out of the struggle of Rona, which is what I like to call it, the coronavirus. And we're all recovering in some way, shape, or form. And taking on that responsibility at that time from 2020, it would have been hard for anybody, but the thing of it is that I have with the Democratic Party, they want the black people, they want the black vote, they want the black people to go out there and vouch for them, but they don't do anything for us in return. Now, during this campaign,
I have to reiterate
Go ahead.
that is actually not true.
What have they done?
Well, they have done mostly everything that you got is because of the Democrats.
But
you
it's not.
Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
What you thinking is that the Republicans didn't do anything. The Republicans come in and steal. Every time something is done, the Republicans say, hey, the Democrats ain't doing anything. We did. No. But why do you think they ain't? How come they ain't got rid of the Obamacare? They can't get rid of it. And then they ain't got nothing to put into place. They make you think that they did because they can't do anything unless the Democrats vote along party lines. So all what you call it did is Donald Trump did is I signed an executive order. Executive order just don't get you money. It doesn't work that way. If that was the case, Biden could have signed an executive order and gave all of y'all money. That don't work that way. That's the trick. I keep trying to. That's the con. What he would do.
Thank you.
Every time he did something, what did Donald Trump do? He always had a press meeting, sign an executive order, and hold it up. He put his name on it.
Yeah, he did.
He can't do anything when it comes to the economy. Somebody has to agree. Why do you think the Republicans, where the Republicans at now? He's running for office. Where have all the Republicans at?
That's a good question. But see,
they are not going to get behind it because they will lose their seat.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
So when you thinking he could do so much, if he could do so much, can you explain this then?
Go ahead.
How come he didn't finish the wall? How come he didn't build the wall? He was in office to build the wall.
It's a lot of things that he didn't do, and I'm not co-signing.
And a lot of things, let me show you something. He didn't do nothing. He's a con. What he does is, he said when he got in office, when the football player on the football team got up there and knelt and did this. He said, get that son of a bitch off the field.
Yes, he did.
Has that guy played since? Has he played football since?
No, he has not.
Okay, then he gets up. Handicapped people. Who marks handicapped people?
Okay. And
lock her up. Lock her up. Lock Hillary up. Who wind up going to jail? Who's wind up right now still waiting? He needs to win to keep from going to jail.
Exactly. And that's a part of the plot and the con. That's why the court date was pushed back, because he was supposed to go for them 34 felonies back in July. And then the court date was pushed back to sometime in September. And now it's been pushed back until after the election, because the goal is for not Donald Trump, but if Donald Trump gets that seat as a Republican candidate, for the Republicans to come through and run and do this whole Project 2025 thing. Now, we've already experienced some of what's in Project 2025, but the worst is what will happen if Donald Trump wins. And god dang, anyway. But we don't know what Kamala got up her sleeve either, because hold on, can I say this real quick? Yeah. And we go back to that. Let's take it back to the Democrats, and the things that we need are not specifically for a Democrat or a Republican to do, but if they're going to serve the people, then they need to serve all people and make sure if they're doing something exclusively for one group of people, they need to do something exclusively for all group of people, because Kamala said what she ain't going to do exclusively for Black people. Then she got up on the Breakfast Club and talk about what she want to do for Puerto Ricans, the economic uplift program that she want to do for Puerto Ricans. And every time she talk about a Black person, she's very dismissive. And I don't understand why all these celebrities are endorsing and co-signing her. I can't speak on that. But at the same time, you know, she is very shifty and shady and shaky as well.
You're not listening. She's not shaky. She already told you what
What
she's
she
doing.
do?
She's already she's telling you what she's doing, but nobody's listening. You're still listening to Donald Trump. See, when you listen to Donald Trump is planted in your mind that she ain't doing nothing.
I'm not listening to Trump.
But I didn't interrupt you when you were speaking.
Okay.
You keep saying, well, she ain't doing nothing, but she is.
What is she doing?
Tell me what she ain't doing.
Okay,
Tell me what you keep saying that she ain't, when she's already committed to so many millions of dollars for Black people. Donald Trump has already stopped Black people from going to college. Donald Trump has already told women you can't have a baby. You can't abort a baby, even if you're going to die. So what is Donald Trump doing?
That is not
See,
right.
what you're doing is you're not, see what happens when people start talking about politics? They are blind to the fact of everybody's not going to get what they want.
That's true. Very
let
true.
me show you this. When Biden got in office, they said they're going to get restorations. Donald Trump started running. You don't hear nothing about restorations no more.
Reparations.
Restorations for the Black people.
Right.
They don't want to talk about that.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
Well, they can't because there's so much flutter out there. You got to stay focused. You cannot get all these top celebrities if she wasn't doing something to get behind her. Every top celebrity in the United States is behind her. Why? Because it's easy to let people have money than to let somebody take the money. Donald Trump takes money and give it to billionaires. Look at the guy that built the Tesla.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. If Donald Trump get in office, not only is the police going to be out of a job, the police is going to be out of a job because the Robux don't cost but $30,000. You paying people to work $50,000 to $60,000 now. Since Biden been in office, people wages are $50,000 and $60,000 without a college degree. But no, they're not doing nothing. See, you're not really focusing in all these jobs. It is so many jobs out there today, more than any president in the history. But we ain't not looking at that. We ain't looking at that. Why? Because if you're making $50,000 and $60,000, that's what a college student makes. People are getting their student loans forgiven. Not under Donald Trump. Not under Donald Trump. See, all the things that you have to see when you're running for office, all you got to do is listen to the person that's talking. Donald Trump ain't talking about nothing. What is Donald Trump talking about? Hey, Arnold Palmer, man, he was hanging. I went in the shower and I said, good God. You talk about a man penis. Who wants to talk about a man penis? Donald Trump? See, y'all not paying attention to what he's doing. He's a con artist. The hand is quicker than the eye. While you looking at him, but you people that refuse what white supremacy is. White supremacy is that is not a color.
Exactly.
White supremacy is the way they think that we are better than all other races. So when you get into that factor, you're not looking at your future generation. You're not looking at your grandkids. You're not looking at your kids. You're not looking at your next door kids. I don't see, they say I don't see color, but I can't say I don't see color because I'm an artist. I know black and white is not a color. They're called CUE, hue. You take those colors to make colors. So when you take the other 6 colors for a black man, see, when you call you black, we are not black. We're melanated. Why?
Yeah.
Because not just the energy or the chakras, but it is 12 to 16 colors in our skin. 12 to 16. Do you know how many is in a Caucasian?
Break it down.
Caucasian don't have but 4 to 6 colors in their skin, in their pigment. So when you're sitting around and trying to figure out why they talk so much about the negative, calling the N word, calling us niggers, calling us every name under the sun, but what the name that God gave us. So I don't get into politics. I get into spirituality. Why? Because
Yeah.
if you listen to what a person says, then you can understand what his politics going to be. I don't hate white people. How can I hate white people? They didn't make themselves. Nor
I
can I
like,
hate nor can I hate a black person or a Chinese person or a
right.
Filipino or Puerto Rican or Mexican. But when we get into all that, they're just human beings. So when you look
Yeah.
at a human being and understand that we are responsible for our future generation, our young people are dying and mothers are hardly crying and daddies are locked up in the pen 10, 20, 30 to life. And we wonder why we have so much gun violence. Because if I can separate your children from their father, I already got you. That's what welfare is.
Right.
Welfare was for you to separate the man and the woman from being a family.
Right. And that's demonstrated clearly in Claudine. And I like the fact that you talked about white supremacy, because white supremacy and white privilege is the issue. We all have different hues, so we see color, but white supremacy and white privilege is in place to keep the people with less pigmentation, less color, and less hue in their skin afloat, to keep them at a level of comfort as opposed to everybody else. So those issues need to be tackled and addressed. And as we talk about politics, those things also run deeply into politics. And um, that's why both candidates, as we talk about white privilege and white people in these parties and things of that nature, have things that we they have a certain type of mindset, because we know the background of Donald Trump. Somebody in his family was a KKK member,
His
and
dad.
another person, I can't speak on what that is because I can't remember off the top. And then we go to Kamala. Now, Kamala, her dad is allegedly of Jamaican ancestry, and her mother is of East Asian ancestry. And not speaking on all East Indians or Asians, but a lot of East Indians and Asians, especially those who've migrated over here during the civil rights era, they have a white supremacist ideology. That's why Kamala locked all of them black people up in California, because of her ideology. And that's why she doesn't acknowledge being black, because of that ideology. She can pass for black because in the face, she do look like a black woman, and she does have the pigmentation of the black woman, but her mindset is not of a black woman. And so when she talks about, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people, and roll her neck and say that as it pertains to reparations. Now, reparations is a topic that is difficult for a lot of people to talk about. But just because it's difficult, don't mean that it's not rendered. Because the who was it? During the First World War, I think it was the Koreans, if I'm not specific, but a group of Orientals received reparations. The $5 Indians, or the natives, received reparations. The Italians, in some sense, received reparations. And you got people overseas receiving, the Jewish and people overseas receiving reparations. So it's only right for black people to get the money, the land, and the things that's due. But why are we fighting for land that's ours? So
That's
when
why
we go to the spiritual aspect of this in politics, they say separate church and state. But church and state are intertwined, because when you go into a courthouse, in some instances, you're asked to place your hand on the Bible, but you're not supposed to have the church inside of the state. So the white supremacy is an issue. And the white privilege is an issue in this United States that's better than this soil. And as long as we have people with that type of mindset, it's going to be a fight. It's going to
well,
be it's going to be a fight to
well
tackle.
it can be a fight, but what the party is, you're talking about 400 years of slavery. Do you know this country would not be here if it wasn't for the black man?
Exactly.
You fail to realize, and most people do, they don't even talk about it. It was the black man that made this the United States. Because when Lincoln went to the slaves and said, if you fight for us, I will set you free. Why do you think they killed Lincoln?
That was, you know what? And that's good.
Because he is supposed to sign that bill for 50 acres and a mule. But he went to the opera that night. And William Booth killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And they put in the vice president, and he would not sign it. That's why we never got the 50 acres and a mule. So when you don't do your research and people just sit and talk, that's why you hear them telling you they don't want to talk about slavery or anything, well, black history, until the people go to college. All this stuff is in a book. I got the books on my shelf.
That's true.
I got the books on my shelf. I got them from, and I got the other books from Old Dominion University. It's in the book, but you don't know what to look for when you're reading it. See, when they swore in, just like Donald Trump tried to do, if it wasn't for his vice president, he would have been president. And all the things he done said, threatening, got people killed, and they still let him run. Why? Because he put in place the Republicans on the Supreme Court, and all of them are doing his bidding. So when you're sitting there saying, Camellia, I don't care who runs president. If the Supreme Court say, well, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, you got to get somebody that she knows the law. I don't care what people say, what she ain't doing, what she ain't saying. She's a lawyer. So when you come up against a lawyer, she knows where the bodies are buried. Donald Trump got to hire lawyers. That's why he got convicted. That's why they keep postponing something, because they need him. They need to postpone it to see if he can win to keep from going to prison. But unfortunately, he even gave he thinking he can persuade people so he can get the rich people more money. He's just giving away the United States money. United States is the most wealthiest country in the world. Don't get it twisted. See, if you knew how wealthy it was, you wouldn't be listening to that rhetoric about Donald Trump. He'd have been gone. This is the most richest and powerful country on the face of the planet. And you want to know why? Because God don't make no mistakes. He put us here when he created this universe. The most powerful person on the planet is a woman. Why do you think they gave women the right to put a man in jail? Because he can't get a job to pay the money that she wants. You don't even know. People don't even understand the game. They just sit there, just move. They playing checkers. These people don't play checkers. They play chess. You think in one move they got 6 moves ahead of you. Who invented chess? The black man. So when you sit up there, everything that our ancestors created, they take it and use it against you. So when people say, "Oh, what she ain't done," why do you think she got where she is to be running for president? Because that's God's will. That's in the scripture. It's in the Bible, but you won't know where it is because God didn't show it to you. So when people are sitting there talking, we're spiritual people. God can show you 1,000 things, but we're too busy listening to all the rhetoric. I've been to broadcasting school. I've been to acting school. I know how to do everything that Donald Trump do because I'm trained professionally, but I refuse to be professionally when I could just be myself. See, being yourself is easier than acting. See, Donald Trump is acting. And long as he's acting, the people that put him in play, that say what you tell him what to do, that's what he do. That's what he do. People really got killed in Washington, D.C. So all of a sudden, somebody gonna shoot at him, but he didn't get shot.
How many attempts? He got 3 murder attempts on him.
Why do you know why he does that?
Because
he knows that the American people gonna listen to what he say.
Right.
So if you're listening, they'll tell you right there how many more lies he gonna have to tell you. You ain't in the room.
The thing of it is, we've seen Donald Trump for 4 years when he was in the office. Right. We know And so the thing of it is, nobody's necessarily catering to the rhetoric of Donald Trump.
Uh-huh.
The thing of it is, this person, the other candidate, Kamala, you know, with the information out there about her in California with locking up all these black men, her locking up and separating families in California,
It's on the internet. Why?
in relation to truancy, and also the situation with Nina Simone's estate. And, you know, those are the three things, and those could be menial to some and major to others. But as it pertains, this is the thing. Had she not run her campaign initially on being a black woman, people may have been a bit more receptive. But to say I'm a black woman, or at least start your campaign off of being the black female candidate and then deny being black when you've done so much wrong for black people. And not saying, not saying that Donald,
our
not
bills
saying
were
that,
passed as an attorney was to keep black men from being locked up for life. So when she's attorney, she's doing what it takes for her clients. So when you don't understand how law works, please do not question somebody that is a lawyer, because I do know a little bit about law, because I tell lawyers how to win cases. That's what I do. That's what I do. Let me show you something.
This is the breakdown and interjection that we need, because while people talk, there's not any additional information to validate or verify these things that
well, how many people do she has to get behind her that's more educated than me and you? Got more money than me and you will ever see. Got more knowledge than me and you will ever have if we don't continue to study and study and study. That's behind her. These are not black people. They're trying to trick the black people. So when you can trick the black people, why do you think they're trying to trick the black people?
For voter suppression.
No.
For voter suppression.
Right. But why? Let me show you. Do you understand there's more black and brown people in the United States than white people?
Yes, they are the minority. That's why the immigrants are coming.
But how long has you been knowing that? That research has been done over 30 years ago. 30 years ago, they said the United States will be more black and brown than white people. Because you know what makes America white? Do you know what makes them white? Europeans do not come and live in the United States anymore. So people really need to do their research.
And that's
Europeans don't live here, don't come here. You see them visiting. Why do you think all the other countries, those white countries in Europe and all of them get all this money? And where do you see them sitting at? They sitting around eating and drinking wine. Ain't nobody over there bombing England. Is England at war? It's England at war. So when people get twisted, they really need to know how it works. It's a game. Everybody's playing a game. Just like with Denzel Washington. He's coming out with the new movie next month. But Denzel Washington did a movie about 7-8 years ago. Similar to that, he was a king. That movie ain't never came out. Where is it? You have to understand is when we are looking at things, you're looking at the images of our ancestors.
Yes.
And they done tricked it and put their name on it. Washington itself was designed, every building there designed and street by a black man, by Benjamin Banner. The one that did the clock that's in England, the Big Ben, he designed that. So when people don't really read and understand that only thing they do is take what we do and flip it and put their name on it. The United States would have never won the war if it wasn't for the black people. It was a black slave that took the blue with the ironclads. The slave that built it gave the lady the plans. She put it under her petticoat and danced on up there to Washington, D.C. and turned it over. If they didn't, they would have lost the war. So when people are thinking that they know, and you know where that was? Right over there in Portsmouth, at the shipyard, Naval Shipyard. So when we are thinking that we are the most historical place on the planet,
Whoa.
and when people sitting on don't know, we talk about a little, we talk about the surface stuff, but all the stuff that they talk about, you can't even get into. You can't get to Hampton or Newport News unless you come past Virginia Beach. So how they gonna tell you slaves went somewhere when they had to come to Virginia? They had to come past Virginia. Go down to that ocean front. The ocean front, I don't even play down there. But I done told people when people play down there, God's gonna send you a warning. He sent 3. I ain't calling no names while I'm on the air.
Gotcha.
I ain't calling no names on the air. They got their warnings. Everything that comes in this United States, you can't even, don't you know, they can't even they can't bring a ship in the United States unless they come through California. They can't come. There was a lot of history about this place. This is sacred land.
It is, yes.
Sacred, very sacred. God don't make mistakes. What we do is make mistakes because everybody want to start pointing fingers. They pointing fingers at Jesus Christ. You ain't know who is this guy? Who is this guy? That's why what did the Pharaohs say? I wash my hands. I see no harm this man has done. Give it to the people. And what they do, they go out there start making people out cheer. They say that he won't be set free. Barabbas or Jesus. And they got people to say Barabbas. And that's why Jesus, because you have to understand this, we all are born for a reason, not for a season.
Yeah.
God is going to take us where we want to go and some places that we don't want to be at. But like I keep telling people, I don't worry about nothing. Ain't nothing nobody can do to me. They can try. But I tell you this, if a tear fall out my eye, you're going to find out what happened. You'll find out what happened. Because why? Because God sent everybody to do his will on earth.
Yeah.
It's not about us. It's about the kids that are dying. Kids are dying every day. And we around here parading and shouting, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. For what? He won't even stop the people from selling guns. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Yeah.
Because we have free will. So when we have free will, we can do and say whatever we want. And God says, that's your will. But at the end of the day, be careful of what you wish for. People are asking for things they don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm not voting for, the difference is I sit right across at the, way back in 2000 something. When P. Diddy was in Raisin in the Sun, the last night he played Raisin in the Sun at the theater in New York. I sit right across from Donald Trump and his fiance and now his wife, Melania. They sit right there. All I had to do is, and the aisles in New York is about this wide. Just wide enough for you to get to the seat. All I had to do is go, excuse me, can I shake your hand, Mr. Trump? See, when people are in the position like Donald Trump, that old people, billions of dollars, you gotta get that money back. And I'm gonna put you in a position to get that money back. I don't think Donald Trump is really a bad guy. But when you in people's pockets, you may not be a bad guy, but you're gonna come one. You're gonna come one. That's why I tell people, be careful what you wish for and ask for. Because everybody's in your corner. But when you get in that seat, now you're in somebody's pockets. You're in somebody's pockets.
Yeah.
I don't care what level you on. Locally, I don't take money from nobody. That's why people don't like me. They can't control me. Why? Because I don't take nothing from you. I work for mine. If I ain't got it, I wait till God send it to me. See, God don't make no mistakes. We do. Because now I can see. I couldn't see before.
I can see you. Oh,
I could see now. And I
yeah.
trimmed my beard a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I could put pictures up there when I was had COVID and up until then. The
Mm-hmm.
doctor told me a month ago, hey, I got to give you a shot. It's gonna cost an extra $500. So I'm gonna get this nonprofit organization. They're gonna pay for it. I guess God said, well, no, he ain't, because he ain't getting it. Then I called him back and said, well, you know, blah, blah, you gonna run some tests. Well, no, the doctor said he just want to give you the shot. Okay. I just went yesterday after a month. And I'm seeing, I can sit here and read stuff way over there on the television. Small letters.
Yes.
I'm seeing brighter than I ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good I'm seeing.
That's good.
Went
I'm glad.
to him yesterday, ran all the tests, and he came in and said, hey, you're doing good. I don't think I have to give you that shot now. There's no bleeding in your eye. This is doing okay. That's God. See, I keep trying to tell you, we are spiritual. Please, being spiritual, you have to listen to your spirit. Man will tell you and deceive you, but he can't deceive me with the people that I'm promoting. Why? Because I done did my research. I listened to them.
Yeah.
All you got to do is put them beside. That's why Donald Trump didn't. Why didn't Donald Trump do another engagement with her? Talking. He didn't want to because
he was scared.
What are you gonna do? She ain't black. She ain't black. Well, what difference? Let me show you something. Do you know what they
though? Because we were saying that before Donald was saying she ain't black.
But
that ain't all, Donald.
But let me show you what the history of the United States say. The history of the world. So you will get it twisted. Don't get it twisted anymore after the day.
Come on,
if you have 1 ounce of black blood, you are black. 1 ounce.
Oh, I'm aware of that.
Okay, then what more do she needs to be made? What more does she have to say?
It's not her father. Color, it's her ideology.
Her father is Jamaican.
Her mindset. It's her mindset. It's not her skin color.
No. You have to understand is, let me show you something about everything that you talk about. Some things you just don't talk about in public. Because if they know what you're going to do, they're going to stop you.
That's true.
I can tell you 1,000 things that I'm doing after I do it. But while I'm working on it, I ain't going to tell you nothing. Just like when you started your company, did you tell everybody what you were doing?
Well,
and if you did, if you did, how many of them purchased your products?
There's some things that I regret because I like to speak about results. I don't like to talk about what I'm going to do. And there have been instances when I put out there what I'm going to do. And
that's the same
about what you're going to do.
Listen to what you're saying. This is my point. This is my point. If she do it, they gonna stop her. Do you think I want to give you $1 million? I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna give every black person $5 million or $10 million. Why don't you hear about restoration no more? They already said they were gonna do that. It ain't been brought up.
I mean,
Donald Trump got in the office, all that went away.
Just like Harriet Tubman is not on the $20 bill. She was supposed to be placed on the $20 bill about 10 years ago. But you got an Afro-Latino on a coin.
But who stopped it? It was the Republicans.
Who stopped? The Republicans stopped that.
Huh?
You said the Republicans stopped that.
Yes, they stopped it. They passed a bill about a couple of years ago to put Harriet Tubman on the $50 bill or what?
I was wondering what happened with that.
Huh?
I was wondering what happened with that.
Donald Trump, everything happens under Donald Trump. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Obama passed that. They were trying to get that through Congress to Donald Trump. Oh no. Just like the black football player that ain't played football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many things do Donald Trump has to do to black people before black people understand that Donald Trump ain't caring nothing about you? He wants your vote, or he don't want you to vote for the person that's going to put him in and out of office.
Let me ask this. Why is it okay for the candidate to say they're going to do this specifically for LGBTQ They're going to do this specifically for Asian and Pacific Islanders. They're going to do this specifically for every other group. But when it comes to black people, this is across both parties. When it
Then I
comes to
just,
black people,
I,
we
I,
ain't doing nothing.
I done
Why is
told you
that okay?
1,000 times, but you ain't
Why is
listening.
that okay? It's
It's
not
not.
okay.
Let me show you.
Why
Let me
do
show you why
okay?
it's not. Let me show you something, Stephanie. You're not listening. I can give everybody around me whatever that I say I'm gonna give them, and they ain't even asked for it. As soon as I give a black person something, they want to kill me. They want to. Why you think I'm not in the club?
I get it.
I'm the most successful person because this is what I do. It's not about me. I'm the most successful person in my era. They run a club that had more nights than any club in the history. 7 nights a week. I ain't talking about 30 or 40 or 50 people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about hundreds of people. Why I can't get a job at a club today? Do you think these DJs out here can outplay me? They can't. What do they do? They bring in people from New York to play. Why do they bring DJs from another state? And you got all these good DJs right here.
Right.
And you want us to give our hard-earned money to people that ain't gonna spend no money here with us. See, when I was out there, people were working. I had a staff just at Picasso's, about 40 people on payroll. At Luxury Brown, I had another 20 to 35 people on payroll. So when people don't understand, I create jobs. I had more DJs playing at the clubs that I play, and the clubs you go in got 1 or 2 DJs. I don't want to pay them but $50 or $75 a night. So when people don't understand the game, the economy went down when I stopped playing in the city. Look at them. When you go out now, you can get in any restaurant at night when a club closed. You ain't got to wait in line. Ask yourself, when Picasso's, Main Event, Heartbreak Cafe, Luxury Brown, all these places that I played help fuel the economy. That's why they always try to pigeonhole me like, you know. See, the thing is, I can play anywhere. I can rent my own space. I don't play in small clubs.
Okay.
See, if I play in a small club in a week, I'll be shut down the next week. Or the person will get threats from the police department. Why? Because there's so many people out there that can't get in the club. It's not about me. I keep trying to tell people what I do, I'm spiritually guided. So when I do something, everybody and their mom try to take over what I'm doing, try to create what I'm doing. Don't you know I'm the first black person in this area that started a black comic book that has gotten notoriety? I ain't saying I'm the first black person that did a coloring book or comic book.
Yeah.
And I hire people to try to give them notice. Then they try to steal, and then they turn around and try to steal it like it's theirs. I'm like, what? You created it? Well, how did you create it? You don't know what I go. People don't know what I go through. But sometimes God puts you through things so he can keep you surrounded until it's time for you to make your move. I don't play checkers. I mean, I don't play checkers. I play chess. I listen to what my spirit tells me to do. It's not about me. It's about these young people that are dying in the street. They got so much money out there right today. You got all these nonprofit organizations. And more people are dying in the street than it was before they got the nonprofits. Why is that? If you got nonprofits and they got money that you gave them, I go to people and they tell me, I didn't even know you was an artist. But where the fuck you meet me at? Then you meet me at Old Dominion University. Oh, because you was on my talk show. When I told you I'm an artist, I'm a fine art major.
Yeah.
But you didn't know I was an artist. What part you don't understand? Everything I do is art. I'm talking to you. That's an art. It's called communications. What part you don't understand? I mean, if I pick up a brush, I can paint. What part you do not understand? If I sit down and think, I can recite a poem, and you tell me, give me a word, and I'll make a poem out of it right now. That's how my mind works. I create. Ain't a job I've been on. Ain't a job I've done. Nobody on that job could beat me at what I was doing. I'm a truck driver. I learned how to drive trucks when I ain't even know how to drive a truck. I operate 5 different forklifts.
Yeah.
I know how to operate hydraulic,
Yeah.
stand up, electric, gas. So how you gonna tell me I can unload a tractor trailer with what, 3,000 watermelons on it, less than an hour and a half, and you gonna tell me I don't know what I'm doing? When I went and got my job at Colonial Store Warehouse, and it was only they was on strike, and it was only me and the supervisor, and I unloaded 12 doors, 24 long distance trucks, put the stuff, rotated it in the box, and put and took it all and put it in the box before it was time to get off. And the man said, I ain't never seen nobody do that. I ain't got nobody that's out there on strike that can do what you do. When this strike is over, I'm getting you a job. So when people don't understand, I picked up 500,000, what they call tonnage, 500,000 pounds of tonnage in the freezer. The heaviest thing in there is a case of French fries. The heaviest thing is a case of French fries because it's got about 10-pound bags, 50 pounds. And I worked in the meat department. I worked so fast, the brother that had to add it up and total it up, he was like, yo, slow down, man. Why are you working like that? I had to ship cases of chicken. And the guys be like on what they call the wet line. And I have so much stuff bagged up. They be like, yo, man, why you working like a slave? Man, slow your ass down, man. You working like a slave. I said, let me explain something to you. One, I didn't come over here to sit around and talk and drink coffee. That's what I get paid for. 2, I don't have to listen to you because I got this job to take care of my family. And you ain't taking care of my family. So if you do your work and let me do mine, I don't have to worry about nothing.
Okay.
So when people don't understand what I do it by myself.
Uh-huh.
So when you come to me, if you think you know what you know, I don't care what it is. I already studied and researched it.
Okay.
By the time you figure out, I done did telemarketing. I sold contracts to people that nobody could sell. I worked for Montgomery Ward, and then the guy pissed me off, and I quit. He told me to sit down and have a seat. I said, what? He said, I'm talking. This is my meeting. I need for you to sit down so I can. I said, I'm not sitting down. He said, what? I said, I don't have to sit down. Tell me what you want me to know. Well, I told you not to park on the grass. I said, okay, where did I park on the grass at? He said, your car's out there. I said, well, if you go out there and look, I'm parked in the dirt where the grass used to be. I'm not parked on the grass. He said, oh, you getting smart. I said, no, I'm not getting smart. I'm just letting you know, here's your headset and your book. I'm out. I had already done 2 weeks of work, 2 weeks to 3 weeks of work selling contracts. Okay. And then I don't turn them in when I get ready because I don't work hard. I work smart. So all my contracts that I needed for the month was already done. So when people don't understand what I do, if you can beat me, then beat me. I ain't got no problem with you. That's what God gave you. God gave me what I am. I was in a special education class. So when I'm in a special education class, I had to do what my teacher taught me. I had 2 teachers that said, I don't know why they put you in my class, but I'm going to make sure you get out. And one of my teachers let me go to regular class. And her name was Miss Darden over there in Portsmouth. And when I met her daughter, because I was working with working at the polls, and I saw her oldest daughter, and I told her, she said, your name is Henderson? Did you used to be? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, my mother's name was Miss Darden. She said, oh my goodness, I ain't seen you since I was a kid. I was 12 years old. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm at Old Dominion University, getting ready to graduate." She said, "Oh, my mother would be so proud of you to know that.
Mm.
She's always said that you were smart." I said, "Yeah." She said, "Maybe you didn't know. But if the school board had found out that my mother let you go to a regular class, she would have lost her teacher's license
Mm.
because
I
I
mean,
never told."
yeah,
My
that was
mother asked, she
that
told my
thing.
mother to go down to the school board and tell them to test me. And my mother, when we was walking back from the school, from meeting with mother meeting, and she said, "Do you want me to go down?" I said, "No." She said, "Why not?" The teacher said, "If I go down there, they'll test you." I said, "Did you understand that she said you cannot tell them that she told you?"
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So when people don't understand why they do what they do to us, because if you knew how powerful you are, they can't control us. So if she get up there speaking everything that she know or what she's gonna do,
It's not about speaking everything. Just acknowledge.
she has
Don't be dismissive.
she's not
Don't be
being dismissed.
dismissive. She don't. No, she don't, and she ain't. I haven't. Now, if you have, I can't. If you've seen or witnessed, apparently you have, because you're saying I can't take that away from you. But
This
I've
is a
been doing my
question.
knowledge and research, and I have not seen it.
Yeah, this guy, gentleman right here, wanted to, he had put up their question. This young lady had put up a question. How can we even entertain Trump as a president, but
I
try
don't.
to over analyze Harris? Why we over analyze? She's got the call. It's
Let
in
me
the
ask.
Bible. She's
Let me.
got the call because it's in scripture. You just don't know where it is.
I can't take away anything from anybody.
Mhm.
Now, if she turns out to be, that's what it is.
Right.
Whoever turns out to be, I can't knock it because that's what it is. Whether it's by the actual votes or the electoral college is votes, the count
Right.
of the electoral college.
Look,
I'm just saying, when I talk about the candidates, I want to know facts. I want an exchange. I put out there what I know, and if there's something to counter what I know, I'm open to hear it.
yeah,
But right now, I have what I know.
what does Donald Trump put out there?
Donald Trump showed us what he ain't capable of doing for the past 4 years. That's why I don't entertain that.
Right. That's what I'm saying is. So she's doing everything she can. Well, I don't understand. White people see it. White people see what she's doing.
Of
You
course,
ain't getting all these white
see it.
millionaires. You're
Because
not getting white millionaires and billionaires to go behind somebody that they ain't saying nothing. They ain't saying
they
something.
see
If
it.
she got Republicans, she's got Republicans backing her. She's got the top celebrities backing her. Maybe we're not listening.
No, it's politics. That's what it is.
No,
Everybody's got their bout.
let me show you
And
something. Ain't no politics when it comes to evil. That's evil.
evil politics
Donald
is
Trump,
evil.
Donald Trump runs evil.
Yeah, okay.
So you better pray that he don't get back in office. Then
Well,
you will
see,
understand then that it's not about Donald Trump. It's about the
no.
future generation.
At the
Because
end of the day, when we vote, the candidate of our choice will win, or
right,
the opposing candidate will win, and we have to live with it. We haven't always been victorious in the candidate of our choice winning, and we still had to live. Bush, what was it? The second Bush in 2000, he won, and he won again in 2004. That wasn't favorable for a lot of people. Obama came through and he won in '08, and he won again 4 years later in 2012. That wasn't favorable to a lot of people, so we still live regardless of
well,
who wins.
what part you don't understand? Let me
What is
see.
it?
The thing is, let me show you something. What most black people don't understand.
Yes,
You keep thinking that a person, when he in the office, he got all the power. He doesn't.
that's right. It's
But
not
see,
about.
he does. They do what they have to do. But see, with Obama, when is it that anybody that you know was in the White House and a Mexican can climb over a fence with all that security, all that FBI and CIA and all that security, and 5 minutes after he walked out of the White House, a Mexican is upstairs in his bedroom? What part you don't understand?
Okay,
See, the thing is with regular people, they don't understand. Your life is no threat if you don't go to the polls or not. Ain't nobody gonna threaten you. So when you go to the polls this week, if you vote, let a white person walk up and call you a nigger.
Well,
Let a white person say,
they are nigger too, because niggas are ignorant people.
well, no, yeah, I
White
know what the
niggas
word
out
means.
there, just
Well,
like
let one walk up to you and do this to you.
That's
So what are you gonna do? You gonna stand there argue, or you gonna stand there and what?
If
What
you
gonna
want
do?
out there to vote, you gonna vote.
Well, yeah, voting, but I wasn't voting at the time. I was passing out leaflets for the candidate that we for the organization that we had vetted for to be elected. 70-year-old man come up there and said, "I ought to shoot you." Then the white lady came over and said, "I apologize, sir." No, you ain't got to apologize. If you stay here another minute, you're going to be picking him up off the ground. So I don't have no problem defending myself and my rights. When you know, but see, these are the things that people don't see. You don't see when people threaten you or beat up by the police. How many times you ever been beat up by the police? I run a club and I'm getting beat up by the police. Slammed up against the wall, trying to bust my head open. Then get down to the police station and get in my face, said, "Go ahead. I know you want to hit me. Go ahead. Punch me." I said, "I'm a religious person and I'm not allowed to fight." He said, "Fuck you and fuck your religion." He was getting ready to get it, you know. But I keep trying to tell people, you can do whatever you want and say, but I serve a God that's going to take care of me. I don't know where he is now. I know when he went to court, it was nobody there but him. He didn't even have a lawyer. So when my witness, I didn't even know my witness, I had a witness to show up. When she came up and the judge, I say, what about? She said, "Captain85. He said, who is he? Who is she talking about? What is this? He said, "Oh, that's his stage name, Your Honor." My lawyer said, "That's his stage name." She said, "Okay, well, make sure she direct that his name by his name. She don't know my name. How's she gonna? You telling her to say she know me as Captain? Everybody knows me as Captain85. So when my lawyer said, "Go ahead and tell him what you saw and heard," he said that police officer over there grabbed Captain85 and was pushing him and punching him and said, call him a nigger. Judge said, dismiss the case. Why? Because she know the guy. She knew who I was. See, everybody wants to give me my slave name. My name ain't Captain85. My name ain't Henderson. Not even if you call me by my name. I just don't tell people what my name is. That's how spiritual it is.
I
I
like
don't
that.
have to tell you. The Bible says I go by many names.
That's real.
But my real name, you will never know me. You don't need to know who I am. You just need to understand this about any person I talk to. The Bible said, "Touch not my anointings and do my prophets no harm." I don't lay claim to neither one, but what I do will bear witness to what I do and what I say. But nevertheless, the time is short. We had a great time.
Yes,
Well, I hope
we
that you
always
come
do.
back again.
Yeah.
And I always, see, with me is the challenge is to make people understand is we all fall short of grace. But what's going on is in scripture, and it's been there a long time. Donald Trump is in the Bible. They said when the trumpet blows its horn, it's in the book of Revelation. So people really need to understand is they need to read. But when you read it, you don't understand it.
That's true.
Because you got to pray, and God has to give you the understanding why a trumpet is blowing his horn. That is, and then it says he will be bound and put back into his place. See, Joe Biden bound him by putting Miss Vice President Kamala Harris to be president. Because everybody wanted to know, why is all this happening? How you can't do that? See, when you are messing and tampering with God and his people, and we are God's people, God don't have to explain nothing to nobody. That's why you see all these storms. That's why you see everything, people flooding. When people don't know, the Bible said you would know by the signs in the sky and in the earth itself. That's why you see the floods, But the Bible already said the earth won't be destroyed by water. It'll be fire next time. Oh, it won't be no nuclear weapons. The nuclear weapons cannot destroy planet Earth. If God sent fire from heaven, everybody can kiss it goodbye. So they really need to stop playing and watch this and start praying. I wonder why those have the same letters, playing and praying. Because, see, that's how we get tricked and whipped with Donald Trump annex. Because Donald Trump thinks he's a master of talking about people, and it goes right across people's heads. But I've been in places where white people loved Obama. Obama saved people houses that was on foreclosure. I was in line at DMV, and the white lady was talking to the other lady at the counter, said, I love that Obama. I love him. I wrote him a letter. My mother's, my farm that been in my family for over 100 years. The bank had foreclosed me, getting ready to take it. He wrote me back and they stopped it. And I was able to, he saved my land. Most people don't even know. Most of the land down at Virginia Beach was black owned. Black. They merged it. They merged it. So when you don't understand what's going on, it ain't for everybody to understand. That's why the Bible say, pray. Pray. And he gives you the answer. Lean not unto your own understanding. I don't lean unto my own understanding. I pray. And somewhere along the way, everything that I pray for, I see unfold. And those that I pray for, I hope that they get their seats in the White House, seat in Virginia Beach, Sabrina Wooten, seat on the school board, Shannon Kendrick, who's got a marvelous plan for the Black community and the whole district of Virginia Beach. See, we stand being divided, too busy being divided, standing in somebody. The Bible says, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto thee. I don't have a kingdom. I don't have a heaven or a hell to put you in. But I know this. There's one and there's the other. So you have to pick and choose. And we all make mistakes in thinking that we're right. And then when God says, you ain't humble enough to understand yet. So I'm going to let the devil, see, the God and Satan sits down at a table, just like we are talking on this thing. He sits down and they talk. See, God's kingdom is heaven. Satan's kingdom is earth. Why do you think everything is going on? It's a battle because Satan wants your soul. He don't want your body. He don't need your body. He needs your soul. He needs the breath of God because that's what God gave us when he breathed into the clay of the earth and brought man to life. And how did he do that? Because of Mother Earth. Now woman is coming into our right kingdom of being the president of the most powerful country and the land for which her ancestors had already been kings and queens. Don't get it twisted. Y'all sitting up there talking about a body, but you don't look at what he's done. He done put more black people in the White House in position than Donald Trump put in the 4 years he was there that he took out.
But he a Democrat.
Who?
You said Biden, right?
Right. But look at all the people, out of all the people that was president, he's the only one that put more black people in office. In office. The head of the military is black. The vice president is black. You got a Spanish person, the head of the transportation. You know, we don't make nobody. If you gay, you're gay. That's between you and your God.
Yeah.
If you feel like you have to have an abortion, that's between you and God.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
You got pregnant by me, you want to have an abortion? I can't stop that. I don't have to agree with it.
Right.
But I can't stop it. It's your body. It's your body. It's your 9 months you got to go through that.
Yeah.
While man is running around here knocking off 2 or 3 more women and getting them pregnant. But
Yeah,
why do you think they want to stop it? Because the pipeline to prison is the third grade.
it is. It is. Oh, and speaking of the pipeline of prison, something else that I've been vocal on is, we know that Donald Trump has 34 felonies, and this is kind of going to zigzag a little bit. Diddy locked up. Diddy locked up with no bond. And, regardless of whatnot, my thing is, why is it acceptable and how is it acceptable for Donald Trump with 34 felonies to run for the highest office of the land? But the felons still have to go through a process to vote. My thought is if you got a felon running to be the president, all felons should have their voting rights automatically restored because there's a lot of felons that do want to vote and they shouldn't have to go through that process with a felon running for this country as the president of the United States of America.
But that's the Republican Party. That's what the governor just did here in Virginia. He disregarded people that registered to vote that had felonies but have been approved to vote. I have helped in the past when I'm in the club. I got people's rights restored. So people can't
Right.
tell me about the game. I've had
Right.
people 80 and 90 years old ain't never voted in life, registered to vote. So when people are telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, see, I keep trying to tell people I might act silly, but I'm a long ways from being dumb.
Oh, we know that without a doubt. Ain't no contesting that.
You
I
know,
also I also want to say this before we close out.
yes.
Voting is a serious thing. And, I say within the past 10 to 12 years, Black people have had the opportunity to have the conversation and be able to disagree about the candidate because you
Right.
shouldn't be voting somebody based specifically on their skin. It's the
Right.
content of their character, not the color of their skin. But because you see so many Black people coming up in politics, just like Black people were in politics and had seats during the era of Reconstruction, it's a little awkward now because our business is always out under the microscope for everybody to see, everybody to pass judgment. But what's happening now is no different than white people going back and forth about how much disgust and distaste and how favorable they are towards the Democratic candidate and the Republican candidates that were running before we had diversity in politics like we do today. And I
Right.
also want to say that for anybody that's undecided, at this point, still, it's okay to be undecided. For
Right.
anybody that's strongly with a particular candidate, whether it's Democrat or Republican, it's
Mhm.
okay. The beauty of this is the conversation, and the work still has to continue once the candidate gets into office. As you brought up earlier, the president's responsibility is to sign bills. It's the what is it the legislative branch that makes is it the executive or legislative branch? Right now, I can't really stay off the top. But
Right.
that's why, as you were also speaking, it's important to vote locally. You can
That's the
vote
most.
locally and you can also write somebody's name in place of the president. You don't
So
have
if you
to
want to
vote.
write me in, if you want to write me in, go ahead.
So,
I
I
take.
mean, those are some options as well because sometimes conversations about politics can get real heated because people can
Right.
be passionate, but it's okay to be undecided because what's going to be is what's going to be, and we still gonna live and we still have to live. And at
Yeah.
the same time, if there's something that you don't like about what's going on, start with the local politics, start with your council people, and I need to do this too, so I'm speaking for me as well. I need to start going back to the city council meetings and get to know the council people and what their agenda is,
Mhm.
the people that are voting locally, because we push them up. But the thing of it is, even though people come up in the ranks from the bottom, from the city, then they go into the state and the government, it's still unexplainable as to how Donald Trump got the seat in the first place to be nominated for the president first time. And we know that Kamala, she was slid into that seat to be the presidential candidate. Nobody voted for her to be the presidential candidate. So those are things that we're dealing with in politics today because we see this is an uneven playing field. It's not right. It's not just. It's not fair. But it is what it is, and we have to deal with it.
Yeah, but she was put in because she was vice president. She's just been put in position to run for the office. She ain't been put in the president office.
No, we got to vote her in, but she was
Right.
in that
Right.
seat. The
But
candidate,
she's already she can do that because they can do that because she was vice president.
she was
She's
vice president. It was easier for her to get that seat because she was vice president. But
That's what I'm
anybody
saying.
could have.
And she's not president until y'all go to the polls. Now, when you get to the polls and she win, now you can hold her accountable. You can hold her accountable. Because why? She has to run again if she wants to make a legacy. All the jobs. Let me show you something again. I don't care who's running for the Democrat. They need to be in office because the Republicans don't do nothing but rob and steal. That's their whole agenda for black people. Black people have to pay to go to college now. Black people can't get but so much money for this. Now, Biden come in and say, okay, well, I'm going to do this then. The Republicans say, no, we're not going to sign that bill. They need to pay all that money. Tell black people that Biden passed a bill and then they ain't got to pay it. They ain't got to pay it. So when you don't understand the politics, the chess game is being played because we didn't make it. We just watching it play out. It's a movie. Yeah. I'm getting on the team that look like me. I don't care how she got there. She looks like me. She looks like my mother.
Kinfolk. That's all I got to say. All skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Well, she's kinfolks to me. So I don't,
That's cool. I receive that.
She's kinfolks. She's kinfolks to me, and she's spiritually kinfolks to me. So that's all I need to know. What you do with your vote, that's your right. That's why it's called you have a right to vote.
Yes.
But Donald Trump is trying to steal. What did he do last year? He took up all the mailboxes in the black community. What are y'all talking about, Donald Trump? The man did so much, and y'all, it's like black people get amnesia. You get amnesia. He took up mailboxes in the black community. Oh, not in the white community, in the black community. Oh, well, we can do that. Well, when did you start doing that? When Donald Trump, the same thing he's doing now, faking. But see, at the end of the day, when God speaks, you'll see how much faking he do when he start to weep. But God don't make no mistake. People do.
I hear you on that.
So people can say what they want to say, talk the way they want to talk.
Yeah.
But everything happens. It don't happen unless God ordained it. Donald Trump to walk around holding up the Bible, walking down the street, and y'all still talking about what Donald Trump ain't. Talk about what he ain't done. Talk about what he ain't done. He done call you niggas. He done call every black woman a bitch. And we still sitting here talking about what the fuck Donald Trump done. He ain't done nothing. But paid those mob monsters their money.
That's how bad
because he's a monster. You do not open any type of business on the ocean front. He closed 4 casinos in Atlantic City. Closed them. That means that he lost money and he owed a mob. And they put their people where they need to put them. So because people don't know. I'm not talking no more because I don't want to get myself in trouble because I'm live.
I got you.
People think they know and they really don't. They really don't know. That's why you gotta sometimes keep your mouth closed when you're on public. I mean, like this, because it's no game. These people play for keeps. They already said the guy that's ahead of the speaker. Did you see the news on that?
I did not.
Where he said, even if the vice president wins, and if you got Republicans that's running the House, he don't have to sanction it. So you keep trying here thinking about what Donald Trump done, or what that lady ain't done. They already got their game plan. They already said it in the news. It's in the news.
They got an agenda, and they got an agenda, and it's like a whole bunch of talk around this and that, and it's not clear. But at the same time, what they feeding us can be, and more than likely will be, different from what they do. That's just the calm. That's just the pacifier, the quiet before the storm.
As long as they get people at the polls, they can do whatever they do. Because at the end of the day, Somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose.
That's true.
And either way, God got me. I ain't gonna lose either way. But I tell you this, our future generation will, because everything is riding on this election for the kids. We can talk all we want to. We grown. We can walk out the door anytime we want to. Our kids are dying in the street every day. Maybe you don't watch the news. I watch the news more than I do talking. I watch the news from 4:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. So people can't tell me what's going on when I already know. If they ain't watching the news, they telling you. Donald Trump get in office, you're done.
And that's the importance of having the conversation so that, you know, what's known can be relayed, you know?
Oh yeah, I love I just, I mean, because I talk loud.
Yeah.
And because I'm a trained professional and talking and speech. But they call it passion, you know. Farrakhan said that's not passion in me.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
I'm not angry or I'm not upset. I'm just letting people to know, do your research before you go into that poll and pull that lever.
You have
because
to.
If you leave it to the beaver, you won't see the cleaver.
Ooh,
leave it to beaver. You got to understand.
like
yeah. See, words have power.
Yes,
so
they do.
And I keep trying to tell people, there's no such thing as a black man. There's no such thing as a Negro. You're either Israelite or Hebrew. And if you don't believe me, let 1,000 or 10,000 people go and start saying, I'm an Israelite and Hebrew. And they got to change what you are. Then and only then you will see the United Nations step in and stop the gun violence in our community. You calling yourself a black man. You calling yourself a melanated. You calling yourself a Negro. All those names you gave yourself, but you're either an Israelite or a Hebrew. And as long as you sit around and call yourself that, you ain't got no power. We just talking lip service to each other. Yo, bro, what's going on? And if you walk up to a black man on the street and say, son, they'd rather kill you and they don't even know you.
That's real.
Yeah, I know, because I done been in many young men's son. You ain't my fucking daddy. Because most of them don't know who their dad is.
Oh, that's real too.
That's why they act. That's why they act the way they act. You say, son, no, I'm not calling you that kind of son. The highest compliment a black man can get is when somebody says son, because the Son of Man was black. He was Jesus Christ. So when people don't understand, they got you brainwashed that you don't even want to be called son by another man.
Wow.
Because he's a man. You don't know me. You don't know me. I'm like, yo, dog. I mean,
yeah.
I'm saying, look, son, hey, man, go to New York or talk to somebody from New York and say son to them. Son? Son? When you know a person from New York, you hear them say, yo, son, what's going on, son? They from New York, New Jersey, Philly. Down here, you call somebody son, they ready to kill you. That's my man. No, now you gay. Now, what? I'm your man? I'm not your man. No, I tell you what to do and you do it. Oh, I don't have a mind of my own. See, that's why people don't like me. They can't tell me anything. If I choose to do it, I do it because it's free will. We have free will. But see, in the black community, we give our free will away.
Oh.
So when we give our free will away, you get mad because they treat you like that. I keep trying to tell people, I done made people millionaires.
Oh.
I done made at least 4 or 5 people millionaires.
Goodness.
You say, how did you make a millionaire? Because they were going out of business when I came.
Goodness.
They didn't go out of business after I came.
Look, you got me sitting with this food for thought, Captain85. Wow.
But like I keep telling people, there's a new year coming. 2025. It's an even number. So you got to be careful. People don't know what's coming. They just know what they see. And when I tell people, when you see a number, you see me.
Ooh.
But
Cool.
that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And hope you enjoyed it. Hope you come back again.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh, definitely.
I like to conversate with people that wants to be conversated.
Yeah.
Talk, because I don't have all the answers, and I don't claim to know all the answers. I just claim to love people, and I'm tired of
Mhm.
seeing kids dying in the street.
Mhm.
I'm tired of people pretending to do this and do that, and then all that week, 67 people done died, but you work in the streets.
Mhm.
All you got to do, don't you know? Let me show you something. If you got one product just in this area with all the products that you make and sell, and you sold it for $5, and all the people that's on your Facebook page just spent $5 with you, don't you know you'll have enough to make your business grow?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
So
Indeed.
then, because it's numbers are multiplied. So when you multiply the numbers, and they keep telling us the same scenario, that Black people don't have no money. And they say, well, they spent $1.7 trillion in the economy last year.
Mhm.
Well, I got reports that that's a fucking lie. Because, see, I'm a salesperson, and I'm in marketing, and I go to companies with research, and the people that do the research, they give you those numbers. The United States Black man today spends about $5 to $7 trillion a year. That's what they spend a year. That's what they spend a year. And they still got you stuck on 1.7 trillion dollars. Well, if that's all they spending, how you got Oprah, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Tyler Perry, Magic Johnson, all these people, it's close to about 4 or 5 trillion. So how did they get that out of $1.7 trillion that Black people spend? And why is everybody in our community selling us stuff and they getting rich? But
Mhm.
we can't get rich because we won't support each other.
Mhm.
That's what I do. That's
Yeah.
why I started my radio station. That's why I started this uh, internet online talk.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Stop falling for the rope-a-dope. We fall for the rope-a-dope from our own people. Why? Because
Yeah.
if we bought
Sometimes.
from each other,
Yeah.
that's why they closed. That's why they wanted Picasso's closed.
I miss Picasso's.
Because we did our birthdays
Mhm.
every Friday.
I miss that. I've
I
been.
bought from the Black lady. We bought from a Black lady that had a cake business. She was getting ready to go out of business
Mhm.
and wound up being in business for 12 years because of Picasso's.
That's what's up.
Because everybody liked the cakes, they started going there and purchasing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Then the guy, we had the church that was in the shopping center say, hey, can we sell food? As long as you got your permits. I ain't got nothing. That's the health department. You know. They started selling food. They were selling cakes and pies for $25 and $30 whole
Mm.
and run out of food. I'm like, it's not going to interfere. It's not going to interfere with our food. Let's say we sold much. We sold out of food last week. We'll be back tonight. Man, these people like, whoa. We sold much stuff at Picasso's. Help people to start their own businesses.
Yes.
And you know what I get from the city? You trying to bribe the people.
Oh
You
goodness.
trying to bribe the community. Gave money to the civic leagues, helped feed 300 families. I even took 30 or 40 meals to people personally, me and my wife, door to door. I never forget this one person because he was an older white guy, about 70, maybe 70 or 80 years old. He came to the door. I said, my name is, Captain 85. from Picasso's, got your name from the rental office that you need, a basket for Christmas. I mean, for Thanksgiving, and I'm here to deliver it." He said, "What? You bringing me a basket?" And he started crying. And he said, "I'm sitting in this house today, and I have no food in my refrigerator. I would not have nothing to eat if you hadn't brought this to me." And I want to say, "God bless you." I said, "He just did by what you said." See, the blessing doesn't come in form of material things. It's the things that people say out of their mouths. I know one night I got off and went to my fiance's apartment building, and it was about 4 or 5 in the morning. And as I was getting ready to get out, before I turned my car off, I always kind of like look around. This guy walked up to me and knocked on my passenger window side, saying, "Yo, man, when you can do me a favor?" I said, "Oh, if I can." He said, "Look, man, I just got out of prison, man, and I ain't got no money to catch the bus to where I need to go. I was wondering, could you give me a couple of dollars, catch the bus?" So my spirit says, "Don't pour no money out." But I had some money in my pocket, so I peeled off a $20 bill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I gave it to him, and he looked at it. He stopped and said, "You gave me this?" I said, "Yeah, that's what you said. You needed some money to catch the bus. But you gave me a 20. I said, "Well, that's all I had." He said, "Man, ain't nobody never did that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody." And I said, "Well, I hope that helped you." He said, "Man, thank you, man. Thank you." I don't think he was really thanking me for the $20. I think he was thanking me for the simple reason he had another agenda, because he could have had a gun. He could have robbed me. He could have took my car.
Mm-hmm.
So when my spirit said, give him, don't take the money out, just give him a 20. And that's what I did. Before I could turn around and say, "Thank you," he done disappeared.
Oh, quick
Right?
thinking in a hurry.
Yeah, I'm like, so I was pulling, I would say, "Well, okay, I appreciate that to get you, but I got to go. I got to get ready to go, And he said, before I could look around, I'm bagging up. I'm like, "Where that motherfucker go?" So I rode around for about 20 or 30 minutes because I didn't want to, because I was staying at, with my my fiance and my son at the time, which I stayed in the other complex, and so because I didn't want to know what apartment I was going in, Like I keep telling people, I don't worry about people doing things to me. I just, because my spirit's going to direct me in what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to understand is God is always in charge of whatever goes on. When praying and having faith, God don't make no mistakes. If I tell people like this, when you're undecided about something or a person, you pray to God and ask him to guide your steps. He will give you the answer that you look for. I go to church. Tomorrow's first Sunday, and I haven't been to church in a while, but I will be there tomorrow. And I go not because I need to go to church. I go to see what the preacher is going to preach about. I can see him on TV, but hopefully I can, we get up and go. And if not, I'll catch him on television. I watch it on my, TV
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But to see what he's preaching about. If he's preaching about something I've been praying for, then I know it's on its way. That's why I go to church, because I pray all the time for what I need. But I'm not a minister.
Mm-hmm.
But I listen to the ministers and see if one of them going to say what I'm praying about, because I ain't told them. I don't tell nobody what I'm praying for.
No,
I'm
no.
not praying for silver and gold. I'm praying for many things, but one of the things I pray for is to find a solution to help these young people.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I mean,
And
people,
you know what? You have some solutions, like with your comic book, with this
right,
show, with all of the things that you've done, and
right,
all of the things that you still do,
right,
because your act of service not only services the person that you may have come in contact with directly, word of mouth, how you impacted them, it spreads like seeds.
right,
The goodness of what you've done and your experiences, how you save somebody's life through your comic book or any other acts that you've done of service. They're gonna talk about it. It's a testimony. And
right.
so that's what it is. And being that you are guided in the way that you are, you get the confirmation that you need. And even when you don't get that confirmation ministered to you from the word, from the somebody in a place of worship, your
Right.
intuition will feel and guide you. And, those are things that I'm learning to stand on, because it's times when you're not going to be able to call somebody. It's times when you're not going to be able to get that word or that message that you're seeking from, that you lean on, because we
Right.
are our own source. That's why that's why the body is a temple, because church dwells from within. God is in us. And so when
Hello.
you speak and serve, that's God ministering to someone else through the vessel that you are in. So, that's how it works. And at the end of the day, we are all parts of the body. And when we realize that, we won't be as divided as we are. Because if you strong in your hand and I'm strong in my ear, and somebody else is strong in their leg, when we come together, we're going to move like we need to, instead of being stagnated and arguing.
Yeah. Hello.
How we just move.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, there's room for everybody out there, but the Democratic Party, there's more money in the black community than there's ever been.
And we
And
those
that
are okay.
and that came under Biden. That came under Biden, not Donald Trump.
Well,
People keep talking about Donald Trump, talking about he gave us rest. He didn't get nothing.
no, we didn't. That was a stimulus check. That was not reparations. Everybody
Right,
got that. See,
right,
with specifically for Black people, as it pertains to reparations of foundational Black Americans, it's not gonna be the same check cut. Now, everybody will benefit in a way, because when we put money out, we're providing a service to somebody else, whether it's for food, whether it's for shelter, whether it's for
hello.
anything. That money's going out.
That's what restoration is going to do with the black man. You're gonna give a uneducated, not even working, $1 million. How long do you think it's gonna be in his pocket? How long do you think it's gonna be in his pocket?
Well, and
How
you
many
can,
black people? How many black people own car lots? How many
well, you
black
know
people?
what?
You know,
With the opportunity to have some money in our pockets that's due to us, more people will. But at this point, we're always now we got to give credit to those who have come up and those who do continue to reach back that have come up,
right,
because we got a lot of us that do that. But at the
right.
same time, the playing field has always been unleveled for Black people, and we always had to work harder than everybody else. So that's
So
all
we,
I got.
oh we got to get, we're gonna get our restorations. Might
I
be,
like the sound of that.
yeah. I think it's gonna be on the
Well, it would
community
it
of
would be
her.
nice if it would be nice, you know, for that to happen. It would be okay if she is the president
Mhm.
and she's everybody's president, and Black people benefit from this presidency like everybody else, then it would be a good thing. But Black
Right.
people, we cannot continue to be the outcasts. We cannot. But
But the
I do
Bible
need
say a man in his own land will be that. See,
we
this
will
is
see.
our land.
This is.
What? This is our land. Why you think we outcasts? Everybody is sitting at our table eating, and we've been casted out
Except for us.
because it's our land. They're not
But
gonna let you get what's already yours. They did it in California. They found out that they took the people beach and they had
they
to give
got
it
it
back
back.
to them.
They got it back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
they
same
got it
thing is
back.
happening now. California was supposed to sign for people to get
The reparations.
restoration.
And there's a whole bunch of stuff with the
And then the
California
Donald Trump stuff.
NAACP and
See,
a whole bunch of other stuff
the
that was,
shenanigans started coming. Oh, they getting ready to
yeah,
get millions. If you know you get California money, you got to get everybody else money.
exactly.
So if you stop California and a couple of other places, then you got to start all over again from scratch.
Yeah.
Let's get Donald Trump back up to distract them. You know, Biden ain't doing nothing for you. Look at the economy. You had 8 years of work already done by the Democratic Party. They ain't gonna let that now. They don't want that lady to win, the vice president to win, because if she win, you got 2 years. You got another 4 years of money flourishing through the black community. And after that, there ain't gonna be no more Republican Party. Ain't gonna be another Republican Party. Why? Because that'll be her second term running. That'll be her second term. God don't make no mistakes. We make mistakes because of the subliminal messages that we are getting
Yeah.
out what we do and all the things that we're trying to do. But let's stay focused.
Yeah.
Our future generation is dying.
Yes.
And when their kids die, they got monuments and everything else put up less than a year or two. Our kids are dying, and they don't even want to pay restoration to their family for police officers killing them. Virginia Beach built a whole new peninsula building, working on the place for the monuments for all the people that got killed down there at Virginia Beach. 7 years that went by, and they still ain't built the African Culture Center.
Yeah.
What part you don't understand?
Yeah.
They gave you the land, but if you don't build it, I'm pretty sure it's a clause in there. If you don't start doing something on the land, it goes back to the city.
Mm.
See, they ain't giving you nothing. They're giving you something that they already took. All this land in Virginia Beach that you see was black land. It was farmland. They took it. They take it and depreciate it and say they can get it by public domain. Build interstates. So you don't know that, hey, all those acres of lands, we took it away from you.
Just like in Richmond. What is it, 95? That hovers right over the place where our great ancestor Gabriel Prosser was lynched. There's the lynch post is right underneath the bridge of 95.
Right.
In Richmond over the ancestral burial ground in that area. And that a lot of our communities were interrupted and intervened by this interstate highway that we flow so freely on now.
Right. And then, like in Virginia Beach, Mount Trashmore, they said they got all those tables and things down there so you can have a picnic.
A picnic.
So what are you talking about? Why are you having a picnic area? I thought it was meant that you pick a nigga and hang him for entertainment. But you ain't changed that. You ain't changed all these road stops in Virginia, rest places. You look over there, rest area or a picnic area, they got tables out there. And you telling me you need to change. Well, give me some money, I'll buy the land then and I can change it. You know, so when people do not understand, we are still a stone throw from being in slavery. They just took the difference is they took the change off our hands and our feet and put it on our brain. So we'll go insane. Why they doing their thing. You know?
I lost the mind. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, one of our Virginia natives, Dr. Carter G. Woodson.
Yeah.
But I do need to get ready to roll.
Yeah, me too.
You know what? These conversations always go by so fast. And I'm definitely looking forward to the next time coming back because I enjoy talking to you. And I also want to say, you know, I spoke this with you recently, but you know, a Facebook post that came up in my memory about me being a guest on your show for the first time 4 years ago. And you know, when I look back at that, when I look back at where I was and where I am now, and I see the growth, you know, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for walking with me through this process to get to where I am right now. Just talking to you, your motivational, encouraging words have been an inspiration to me. And, I just want to shout you out,
Right.
Mr. Best of the 757 Community
Hey.
Talk Show. And you just keep doing your thing.
Oh yeah.
I know you ain't going to stop, but
And
I'm proud of you.
thank you so much for that. As the hip hop song says, stop, stop, won't stop.
Ain't stop,
You
don't
can't
stop. What?
you can't stop because the future generation is depending on somebody to put the work
Yes,
in. We got to put the work in. It's not about me. I lost, of course, your best friend, my
yes,
daughter Shonda, and I'm
Brett
gonna
Baby
be.
Sean.
Yeah, she might be gone, but she's not gonna be forgotten.
Oh, she ain't. She
You
ain't.
know, yeah, because I'm gonna put something in play for her too,
Mm-hmm.
a
Mm-hmm.
monument or foundation type thing.
Oh my God.
That's my baby. Like I tell people, I don't believe in death. I just know that where she is, we shall be also, you know. So that's what I remember, and for as I continue to build my to move forward in 2025, to try to build and design stuff not just for the kids and the youth, but as well as for women. Uh, we have to put spotlight on how men treat women
Yeah.
and stuff of that nature. So like I said, there's work to be done. There's a work for a lot of people to be done, but without resources, it's very limited. Not limited, but slowly. But like I keep telling people, there's many ways to get around the democracy, the hypocrisy that the government does or the city does. I'm not going to say the government because the city continue to try to they block what I do. But like I keep telling people, God don't make no mistakes. We make mistakes when we give up.
Mm.
Well, that's it. Until the next time we meet. Thank you
Yes.
so much
Thank you.
for you coming on, and we'll see you later.
No
Don't
doubt.
forget, give them your website address, and so they can go by and.
Yes. You can visit the online souvenir shop at culturebyle.co. That is culturebyle.co. Stop by the online souvenir shop and purchase something beautiful from wherever you are. Take the 757 with you wherever you go. Also visit our blogs for your reading pleasure. Our programs such as the Virginia Natives Teaching Series and Culture by Ellie's Pop-Up Museum. Check out the website. Also, Culture by Ellie is on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Real Talk 757 is also on Facebook and YouTube. So check those out for, the best of what Virginia has to offer. And enjoy. Share Culture by Ellie with those who enjoy Black history and more.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's just teamwork is making the dream work. So
Mhm.
you have to understand our English language. Our words will change a whole conversation around, but the actions that has to take place is another part of what we do in life.
Mhm.
And like I said, I appreciate you being a friend to my daughter,
Yes.
and you know, and like I still have her voicemail. I keep it on my phone. I didn't erase it. Her last words before I didn't get a chance to speak to her again. But nevertheless, we'll keep moving forward, you
Yes.
know, to the next generation. Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
and you have a blessed day.
You too.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you have it. It's been fun, but I gotta run. It's almost wrapping up 2 hours worth of talk, and I hope y'all get a chance or opportunity to look through this. But don't forget the voting. The voting is today until 5 o'clock. Virginia Beach. Don't forget. Don't forget. Shannon Kendrick. Shannon Kendrick. Don't forget to vote for her for the school board. And like I said before, she's needed in the community in the 757 because she's about the 757. She's about Virginia Beach, and she's in District 4. District 4. I don't know what district y'all might be voting in, but District 4. Don't forget Shannon Kendrick for Virginia Beach School Board District 4. She has a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and she's then worked in the government, worked overseas. I'm just telling you, this is what we need on the school board to hit the ground running for 2025. And don't forget, Sabrina Wooten, you know, and you already see it on my shirt. Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget. Wooten to win for the Virginia Beach Mayor's office. Wooten to win. Vote today at 5 o'clock till 5 o'clock. And if you don't make it then, you always can go to the polls on the 5th. Either way, make sure you go to the polls. It's your choice who you vote for. But remember, it is for the future generation. It is for those who know we need love in our community. And coming real soon, I will keep telling you. I've been working in the vineyards for many years, young and old, black or white, doesn't matter. I don't. On, but I think they just keep cutting my mic off. I wonder why when I'm talking about politics for something that I'm paying. Unbelievable. I'll see y'all later before I have to cancel somebody else. You know, these people are killing me.